The arena was alive with sound. Metal walls shook as engines thrummed deep beneath the ground. Smoke and dust drifted across the floor, hiding shadows that moved fast. Cadets lined up along the edge, their armor clinking. Eyes wide, hands tight on rifles, they waited for the war beast. Every face showed fear. Every breath was heavy. Eli Hunter stepped forward, calm. His boots struck the floor in rhythm, a steady beat. Around him, cadets whispered prayers or cursed under their breath. Eli ignored them. He studied the arena. It was more than a test. It was a trap, and he could feel it. A loud roar split the air. The walls trembled. Light shifted, and from a raised platform, the war beast dropped. Its body was massive, armored in dark plates. Muscles moved under the plating like liquid steel. Its eyes glowed faint red. It sniffed the air and growled low. Cadets froze. Some stumbled back and fell. A few screamed. Eli kept his stance. The beast stepped forward, each footfall shaking the ground. A cadet tried to fire, but the rifle clicked empty. The war beast lunged. Eli jumped to the side, rolling over the concrete. Behind him, the beast smashed another cadet against a wall. Blood sprayed. The cadet did not move again. The other cadets scattered. Panic hit them like a wave. Some ran straight into the walls. Others slipped and fell. Eli stayed moving. He stayed calm. He studied the war beast, its patterns. It attacked with power, but it paused just long enough for him to notice. There was intelligence there. It was not a mindless machine. It was testing them. Eli ducked under a swipe that could have torn his armor apart. He rolled and fired a shot, careful, not panic. The war beast ignored it. It advanced, sniffing, growling, circling him like a hunter. He stayed low, kept his eyes locked on it. The world narrowed to the two of them. A scream came from the left. One cadet had tried to climb the wall to escape. The beast leaped. Eli turned just in time to see it crash down, the wall trembling. The cadet flattened. Eli felt a chill, a pang of anger, and something like respect. He would not let fear control him. The war beast stopped suddenly. Its head tilted, its glowing eyes locked on Eli. The roar faded. It was quiet, almost too quiet. The arena felt empty, but the engines still hummed. Dust settled around their feet. Eli stood, chest tight, breathing steady. He felt something shift. The war beast was watching him differently now. Then it moved closer, slower, each step deliberate. Cadets froze in place, unsure if it would attack or retreat. Eli stayed still. His hand hovered near his rifle, but he did not reach for it. He understood. This was not just a fight. This was recognition. The war beast lowered itself, its massive head almost brushing the floor. It exhaled, a hiss that shook the metal floor. Eli's heart pounded. He had faced fear and won this far, but he knew the trial was only beginning. A distant alarm blared. Red lights flashed across the arena. Hidden panels slid open. Other shadows stirred beyond the smoke. Eli felt his chest tighten. Something else was coming. The war beast turned its glowing eyes toward the movement. Eli knew this test had a second stage. He clenched his fists, ready. The battle was far from over. Red lights flashed across the arena, casting long shadows. Smoke swirled in the corners. The distant hum of engines grew louder. Eli Hunter's eyes never left the war beast. It stayed low, massive body tense, eyes glowing. Around him, cadets trembled, unsure where to move. The air was thick with fear. Panels slid open along the arena walls. From them, smaller beasts emerged, quick and agile, unlike the first. They moved like predators, silent until they attacked. Cadets panicked. Shouts filled the arena. Rifles fired, but the creatures avoided the shots with inhuman speed. Eli ducked under a swipe that could have crushed him. He rolled, landing on the ground with a heavy thud. He noticed something the others did not. The beasts moved in patterns. They responded to fear. They struck those who panicked. He could use that. His mind raced. He needed to survive. He needed to protect the others. Eli shouted instructions, pointing to safe paths, directing cadets to move together. Some followed. Others froze. One ran straight into a beast's path and was gone before Eli could reach him. Eli's heart pounded, but his mind was sharp. He dodged a leap, rolled behind a wall, and fired a shot. The sound echoed, but it did not hit. The war beast that had knelt before him watched from the center of the arena. Its eyes followed every move. Eli realized it was studying him, testing him, not attacking him. One cadet shouted, asking if Eli could control the beasts. Eli's voice was steady. He said no, not yet, but he noticed a pattern. The beasts hesitated when he moved slowly and confidently. They struck only when he showed fear. He forced himself to stay calm, to control his breathing, to think clearly. It was the only way. The battle grew chaotic. Flames erupted in the corners where engines overheated. Metal walls bent under the force of beast attacks. The arena became a maze of smoke, fire, and steel. Eli led a group through a narrow corridor using his knowledge of the beast's timing. A cadet slipped and fell. Eli grabbed his arm, yanking him back just as claws tore through the air where he had been. They reached a small platform. Eli paused, listening. The beasts moved in the arena below, circling, coordinating. It was not random. Someone had programmed them to respond. But to what? Fear? Strategy? Intelligence? Eli's mind worked quickly. If he could anticipate their moves, he could survive and maybe save others. The war beast that had knelt before him stepped onto the platform, blocking the only exit. Cadets froze, eyes wide. Eli's heart beat faster. He could see every muscle in its armored body flexing. Its eyes glowed brighter, almost like fire. Eli understood that it was not just a test of strength. It was a test of trust, control, and courage. Then the creature made a sound, low and guttural. It was a warning. The smaller beasts paused. Eli realized the first war beast had authority over the others. The arena fell silent, except for the engines and the breathing of men and beasts. Eli's mind raced. Could he reach it? Could he communicate with it? A flare exploded in the sky above. The sound was deafening. From the shadows beyond the arena, something moved, larger and faster than the previous beasts. Eli's chest tightened. His hand instinctively went to his rifle, but he knew bullets alone would not save them this time. He clenched his teeth and stared at the war beast. It returned the stare, and for a moment, there was understanding. Then the new movement surged forward, and the arena was flooded with creatures. Eli's eyes widened. This was more than a trial. It was a real fight, and the humans were outnumbered. The war beast growled, and Eli knew the test was turning into a war. The first move had been made, and they had no choice but to respond. The arena exploded into chaos. Dozens of beasts moved faster than the eye could follow. Flames leapt from damaged walls. Smoke burned eyes. Cadets screamed as creatures leaped from shadows. Eli Hunter stayed low, rolling under a swipe that would have crushed a man. His rifle clicked empty, but he did not panic. Movement, timing, observation. This was his weapon. He grabbed a cadet by the arm, yanking him behind a metal pillar. Sparks flew from the walls where claws struck steel. The cadet's face was pale, lips trembling. Eli shouted instructions, pointing at gaps between attacking beasts. Some listened. Most froze. One tried to run and was gone in a flash of claws. Eli's heart pounded, but his mind was focused. He studied the beast's movements. They attacked those who showed fear first. He forced himself to breathe evenly, move carefully, and think one step ahead. Every second was life or death. The first war beast, the one that had knelt before him, moved at the center, controlling the others. Eli noticed it coordinated attacks with subtle gestures. A flick of its head sent a smaller creature forward. A growl froze another in place. He realized he could predict and exploit their coordination. This knowledge gave him a chance. He shouted commands, directing surviving cadets to flank. They ran through narrow corridors, keeping low, dodging attacks. Eli rolled under a swipe, grabbed a fallen piece of metal and slammed it into a smaller beast, buying time. The cadet beside him looked at Eli with wide eyes, admiration mixed with fear. Eli barely acknowledged it, focused on survival and strategy. Flames erupted nearby, forcing the cadets into tighter spaces. One cadet slipped and fell. Eli lunged, pulling him back just as claws slammed into the floor where he had been. The cadet gasped, shaking, tears running down his dirt-smeared face. Eli's chest tightened. They were lucky to be alive, but not all would make it. They reached a raised platform overlooking part of the arena. The beasts below moved in patterns, circling, searching. Eli realized they could predict attacks if he stayed calm and controlled the flow of movement. He planned a path, calculating speed, distance, and the beasts' reactions. He shouted, and the cadets followed, moving in rhythm with his directions. Suddenly, the first war beast blocked the only exit, its glowing eyes fixed on Eli. He froze for a moment, weighing options. The beasts below surged, sensing opportunity. Eli clenched his fists. There was no room for hesitation. He stepped forward, hand on the war beast's head. It growled low, but did not attack. He felt the weight of its body, the power restrained by respect. A sudden alarm blared from above. Panels in the arena walls opened again. Larger shadows moved in the smoke. Eli's stomach sank. They were outnumbered, outmatched. Flames reflected on the beast's armored scales. The cadets looked to Eli. He met their eyes, feeling their fear, their hope, their reliance on him. His jaw tightened. He would not let them die. He gave a sharp command. The cadets moved together, using the platform as cover, creating distance from the advancing creatures. The first war beast let out a deep growl and moved to block a new path. Eli's mind raced. Every move was a risk. Every second could be their last. From the shadows, one of the newly opened panels revealed a creature unlike the others. Larger, faster, with jagged armor plating. It lunged with terrifying speed. Eli's eyes widened. The arena was no longer a test. It was a war zone. Survival was not just a goal. It was a necessity. Eli tightened his grip on the platform rail. He looked at the first war beast, its eyes still locked with his. For a moment, there was understanding. Then, the new beast hit the floor with a thunderous roar, shaking metal and fire. Eli swallowed hard. The battle was escalating, and there was no turning back. The arena shuddered under the impact of the new beast. Flames flickered along walls scarred with claw marks. Smoke filled the air, stinging eyes and lungs. Cadets screamed and scrambled for cover. Eli Hunter kept his focus, every muscle ready. He could not show fear. Not now. The first war beast, the one that had knelt, moved closer. It growled low, almost as if warning Eli to be careful. Eli raised a hand, signaling the cadets to hold. He stepped forward, his boots heavy on the metal floor. The new beast lunged at them, jaws snapping. Eli rolled, narrowly avoiding its strike, and pushed a cadet out of the way. The young man's eyes were wide with fear. Eli nodded sharply and the cadet froze, holding position. Eli studied the larger beast. It was aggressive, fast, unpredictable. But he noticed something. It hesitated when the first war beast moved between them. There was respect, or maybe fear. Eli saw an opportunity. He ran toward the first war beast, using it as cover. The creatures below shifted, circling, testing their limits. Eli barked orders. Cadets moved in rhythm with him, creating openings in the chaos. He lunged, grabbed a piece of metal debris and slammed it into a smaller beast, knocking it back. Another tried to attack from above, but Eli dove, rolling to avoid the blow. Sparks flew where claws scraped steel. His heart pounded, adrenaline sharp. Every move counted. Every second could be death. A cadet shouted, asking if Eli had a plan. Eli did not answer. He could not risk confusion. He kept moving, dodging, striking, leading. The larger beast roared, sending a shockwave through the arena. Dust fell from the ceiling. The cadets froze. Eli clenched his jaw and charged, leading them through a narrow corridor the beasts could not reach easily. The first war beast followed, stepping over debris with ease. Eli extended a hand, brushing its armored head as he passed. It growled, but did not attack. The cadets behind him hesitated, then followed. The arena was a storm of fire, smoke, and steel. Eli's focus never wavered. He saw paths, predicted attacks, controlled the flow of chaos. Flames blocked their exit. Metal beams fell. A cadet slipped. Eli grabbed him just as claws slammed into the ground beside them. The cadet's face was pale, eyes wide. Eli felt a pang of anger and grief. They were surviving, but barely. His mind raced for another route. There was only one. He turned back to the kneeling war beast. Its eyes glowed brighter. Eli took a deep breath and spoke, voice firm, clear. The beast seemed to respond, lowering its massive body to create a path. The cadets stared, stunned. Eli nodded and moved. The other beasts hesitated. He realized the kneeling one had authority. Respect could be commanded, earned. As they began to move, a shadow passed across the arena roof. Engines hummed above. Eli looked up. A massive alien ship cast a dark shadow, larger than any battle formation they had faced. The platform shook. Red lights flashed across the walls. The beasts below growled, agitated. Eli's stomach tightened. The trial had become a full-scale battle. There was no turning back. Survival was everything, and the real war was just beginning. The alien ship shadowed the arena, engines humming with a low vibration that shook the floor. Flames burned along the walls, smoke filled the air. Eli Hunter stood at the front, chest tight, eyes sharp. Cadets behind him were trembling, fear written on every face. He did not flinch. He could not. The kneeling war beast growled low, its massive head moving side to side. Eli reached out, brushing its armored head. The creature rose slightly, following him. It would fight alongside them. Eli's mind raced. He had to use every advantage, strategy, timing, courage. He barked orders. Cadets ran, moved, dodged, coordinated under his voice. The alien ship released troops, dropping pods that shattered on the arena floor. The creatures inside were fast, armored, ruthless. The smaller war beasts surged forward, following the orders of the kneeling one. Eli led a charge, rolling under debris, striking with metal scraps. He felt every hit, every near miss, but he moved with precision, avoiding panic. One cadet screamed as a creature lunged at him. Eli dove, pulling the cadet out of the way. The alien slammed into the floor with a heavy crash. Eli's chest heaved. Fear and anger fueled him. He kept moving, leading, calculating. Every second mattered. Death was close, but survival depended on courage and strategy. The kneeling war beast attacked with controlled precision. Its massive body slammed into enemies, clearing a path for the cadets. Eli watched, heart pounding. He felt a surge of respect and awe. This was not just a beast. It was a warrior, and it had chosen him. Together, they became a force, pushing back the alien troops. Flames and smoke twisted around them. Metal groaned under stress. Cadets followed Eli's commands, moving as one. One of the smaller beasts blocked a narrow corridor, allowing humans to pass. Eli rolled, striking a creature before it could attack. A cadet beside him fell, struck down by a hidden foe. Eli's jaw tightened. Survival came at a cost. He led the cadets to a central platform, higher ground. From there, they could see the chaos, the aliens, the war beasts, the destruction. Eli shouted instructions, timing movements, predicting attacks. The kneeling war beast followed every gesture, every pause. It moved with him, powerful and precise. A pod landed nearby, smashing the platform. Debris flew. Eli lunged, pulling a cadet from falling metal. The cadet coughed, eyes wide. Eli glanced at the kneeling beast. It roared, slamming into the incoming aliens, buying them more time. Eli felt adrenaline and fear mix. They were winning, but barely. He spotted a group of alien soldiers advancing. Eli sprinted forward, War Beast at his side. They crashed into the aliens, fists, claws, and sheer force combined. Cadets followed, striking where they could. Flames lit the arena like firestorms. The aliens faltered, then retreated under the combined human and beast attack. Eli stood, chest heaving, looking over the battlefield. Survivors staggered, battered and bloodied, but alive. The kneeling war beast lowered itself beside him, eyes meeting his. Eli nodded. Respect had been earned. Humanity had survived this stage. Then a deep rumble came from above. The alien ship shifted, dropping shadow across the arena again. Its engines glowed red. More troops were coming. Eli clenched his fists, heart tight. This victory was temporary. The war was far from over.